It's the SDG Podcast. Before we get started, you can check us out on the web at solutiondesign.com/podcast or find us on all the social medias, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Solution Design Group. All right, gentlemen, welcome. Another podcast. It's good to see you here. We're with Peter Lawrence today.
Hi there.
Chad Jutner.
Hey, guys.
And joining us again, Ben Messerly.
Hi, everyone.
And I'm Kyle Bacher, and today we're going to talk about the AI bubble because it's what everybody's talking about, and so I want to hear what you guys had to say about it. Like all the bubbles before us, inflated. They got to at some point put their money where their mouth is with this stuff, and so much money's getting pumped in. When does reality catch up to the hype?
What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by reality catching up to the hype? I mean, the hype is real. It's awesome. It's great.
Right.
The
money, the investment people are putting into it. And so the reality would be people getting the value from it.
Well, we are, though. I think the problem is there's been so much money invested into this that everybody in America would have to subscribe to like this $30 a month plan in order for them to become profitable, right? So like it's not really a reality versus hype thing, because the hype is I think it's kind of real and valid because it's transformative. It's just the model, the financial model doesn't really play out for the companies that are producing these models, right? Like there's not a path to profitability for a lot of the. I think that's the concern right now, is that there's not a really good path for these people to be profitable ever, maybe. I don't know.
And so why are they doing it? I have an answer to that, but what do you guys think?
Because they can.
I saw a really bad idea. So somebody, I think we've been talking about the bubble and the hype machine for a little while. I think Cory Doctorow was the guy that kind of like exploded the whole thing about the bubble when he published an article about it and kind of broke down the numbers. There was one counterpoint that said, "Oh, you guys are all idiots." This is assuming, they're talking about like market value and everything else, and they're like, "Well, this AI is going to make 10x. It's going to make the potential market 10x bigger than it actually is," and it was nonsense. I'm super curious to hear what Ben's thing is, though.
Well, I think my answer is actually in that direction.
Uh-oh.
The promise of AI, I mean, this is what they believe anyway. And I don't know, I might be there too, but like the promise of AI, the ceiling of AI is unlimited, unfathomable, because I think that Sam Altman and all these like individuals who have egos tied up in this too, they're after AGI, artificial general intelligence. This is like the AI that everyone thinks of, and then they don't understand why it's not living up to the hype. The hype is about the eventual AGI that is a phase change for our life, for society, for the economy.
Has no one watched the movies?
Yeah.
I mean,
this is what they want.
So,
this
Ben,
is
are
what
you
they
claiming
want,
that there's hype? Are you saying there's hype then, Ben?
I guess I'm saying that.
Well,
right.
You're saying something different. You're saying like the tools that we have today, like the products that we have today from AI, are baby steps towards an end goal that we don't see.
Yeah, it's a pre-revolution. This is not a phase-changing technology. It hasn't replaced swaths of regular workers and jobs yet. It's transformative in some ways, but I think the ways that it's transformative, by the way, is like for mere mortal companies, like small businesses and so on. It's hard to find that ROI, but it's there. And for daily life stuff, it seems mind-blowing, right?
So is AGI the self-driving car of artificial intelligence?
Like it's a flying car of artificial intelligence.
Or the flying car, even worse. Yeah,
the flying car. I mean, it's electricity, and it's the Industrial Revolution, and it's, bigger than the credit card. How big of a technology could AI become? Because as soon as, the idea with AGI is that it can learn on itself,
Right.
improve itself, and come up
Get
like
rid of all
advance.
humans. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
they wouldn't have. I mean, it surpassed human level intelligence
As soon
quickly
as it
if
can
they did.
change its own code and make it better, it's all over with.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
game.
I mean, and it's going to say, hey, I'd like to, use all this energy to train my new self, train my version 3. And someone human would have to say yes, but like, they're going to hit that yes button. And I think that these companies think it's worth it. And that's why they're dumping like literally all the money they can get their hands on. They're coming up with new debt objects to fund this.
50-year mortgages. Yeah. I mean, I wonder though, is there enough runway between now and then?
Yep.
Them to actually achieve what you're talking about, right?
I don't know. I think they may, because we don't know. Like, you ask the companies when they think they're going to hit AGI, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 2030, we've got it in the bag." And then we don't know. For example, like one question is, right now the model for growing for them is that they pour more data in, and they get a better model. Are they gonna hit a step where is that going to continue to scale? Is it going to scale all the way to AGI? These are questions that I don't know. You need scientists who study AI to understand, and I don't think anyone can really know for sure.
I was almost wondering, like, does Moore's law apply to AI, right? Models.
Yeah.
It's like, are they really, like, what are we getting out of a brand new model? Like when as we train these, like, if we're building $1 trillion worth of data centers just to train yet another new model from scratch, maybe. What are we getting out of that? Or is there a point at which, okay, like we've trained this model, here's all this additional data, let's start to wedge that out, like, do we actually really need to, and are they even starting from scratch anymore? I guess I don't know. I don't think ChatGPT 5.1 that just came out was something they came up with from scratch, right? Like they started at 4 and they add functionality to it, but they don't necessarily like train a brand new one.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I think probably they don't want to do that because like they're even in more hot water with all the data that they use to train the first few versions that they no longer are really not allowed to be using,
Yeah.
So how is this like the .com bubble? How is this bubble more stable? And the idea that you've got companies with investors and all of that built around the promise of something that's not there yet.
I don't know that I don't think the analogy is quite there. Cause like with the .com stuff, you could actually, I mean, it didn't take a lot to see, I mean, pets.com and whatever, right? Like some of these ideas were really, really stupid. And they put way too much money into advertising and nonsense, but they were just like a decade or two ahead, right? Like if pets.com waited 15 years, they'd probably be a pretty big, like I'd probably go to them instead of BarkBox or whoever the heck I get all of Otis stuff.
Or right? Chewy or any of the other ones that are
yeah, like
it's
like, exactly what you're describing.
Yeah.
It's like the rest of the ecosystem wasn't ready for pets.com. We needed more infrastructure. We needed more advanced, web capabilities to make pets.com possible.
And the connectivity wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now, right? Like that existed before cell phone, before the iPhone. So like you weren't reordering dog food while you're sitting at the bar during a meat raffle. You were just at home intentionally like logging in, using up your landline, pissing off your parents or whoever. So I think
they got too far ahead of themselves, invested in something that wasn't quite there yet, and got in trouble. Is that what's happening with AI?
I think what the hope is that like AI is going to be like Amazon, right? Like Amazon lost money like every year,
right?
And they kept doubling down on losing more and more money. Well, now they're this massive behemoth that is
not losing money anymore.
Hashtag
Uber. Uber.
I bought a house. I bought a house in 2007. Worst time ever.
Yeah.
Immediately, like, got upside down on my mortgage. I had the value of my house went from like 160 down to 110 in a heartbeat, but I'm still here. And now if I sold my house, I'd make money on it.
Right.
Like, it didn't kill me. I didn't pull out of I didn't move. I didn't sell. I just waited and I hung in there, and now I'm fine. Is that kind of what's going to happen with AI?
Yeah, what's at stake for this AI bubble, I think, is a good question. I mean, it's becoming a significant portion of the S&P 500. It's more than 5% of the S&P 500 is AI related investments and in companies and stuff. But I think, yeah, I think that there's a lot of like Silicon Valley and investing types who have a lot of money dumped in, and they expect a lot of their investments to fail. You also have bad businesses, um, like businesses that are kind of hokey AI use, or maybe they're ahead of their time AI use, whatever it is. I'm not sure if like the impact to the individual consumer in the US or global economy is going to be, really hard hit. This obviously, I don't know. Or if it's going to be something that you can weather, or you need 20 years to weather it, like, the housing crisis.
I mean, like that's another question, right? Like if AI replaces your job and you don't have money to put back into the ecosystem, how does that work? Like eventually, if AI gets to the golden replacing everybody that except for the physical labor, maybe, although robots.
We've got robots for that now.
I know, like when do we get to sit on the beach and have the robots bring us drinks, and that's our life?
Does that? It's kind of cool. I don't know. I think we get that view because we are consultants. We work for large companies, and we just spend a lot of our days in the office.
Right.
Go outside. I mean, I don't know that in our lifetime we're going to see anything like what you're describing, right? Like it's that kind of utopia. Like both my kids, all of my kids have jobs that are irreplaceable, are not AI candidates. Well, maybe Abby, but sorry, sweetheart.
Yeah, right under the bus there.
Yeah.
Well, and that is a great question, right? And the other question is, we're building data centers. We're using up a lot of stuff to build a data center. We're going to put some electricity in there. When do we run out? Do we run out of electricity ever? Enough electricity to balance that equation of...
I don't see how nuclear energy isn't a part of the solution as a physicist.
Yeah.
I think the data centers that OpenAI alone is proposing for just next year are going to require nuclear energy to sustain. I mean, like they're putting money to build these centers and they're to secure the chips, but locking down the energy is a whole other thing that they've got to worry about.
Yeah. They want to reopen 3 Mile Island and things like that. Just get a bunch of those submarines and aircraft carriers and run an extension cord, and we'll be good.
Okay. I mean, if you'll hear me out here for a second, let me get a little sci-fi. One way to measure human progress is by how much energy we consume as a species.
Mm-hmm.
And harnessing nuclear energy and using fractions of the solar output is a way to measure it. And I think so. It's in a sense it's a measure of our progress as a society. Of course, it also could be a sign of our downfall too. But this is the type of sci-fi stuff I really get excited about.
Yeah, like when the Earth becomes Trantor and covered in steel and...
Yeah, you got to build eventually. The next step is to harness the power of the sun by building a dome or many, satellites around the sun to soak up all of its energy.
A Dyson sphere. Yeah,
exactly. A Dyson sphere. Yeah.
So, there's been a lot of talk of solar lately, being the future. And I think, we get a free energy source in the sky. Nuclear, I think, is one of the safest and most efficient ways we can generate power. And I think we have to get over this idea that we're all going to melt and glow in the dark. And that
Yeah.
there's always issues, but if you look at um, if you look at the problems between coal fire plants and loss of life, there's way more on
Yeah.
the coal fire side of things than there is on the nuclear side of things. So, um, I think it's time to flip that switch and move forward.
I think signs are pointing in that direction. If you look at the opinion of the younger generation, polls of Gen Z are, I don't know if it's overwhelmingly positive or just positive towards nuclear energy in a way that older generations it's not. But I totally agree.
So when does fusion come on board or
I
online?
mean, it's been a very hard problem, and funding has been extremely problematic, right? They say about fusion, it's always 30 years away or 50 years away.
Right.
But it would truly would be transformative, but it's tough. And you look at other sort of innovative nuclear technologies like small modular reactors, those have had an up and down sort of path where the idea is, you have a refrigerator sized nuclear reactor that can power your neighborhood. And it's very expensive to learn how to make the first one, but then in a factory line style, you can make each one of them subsequently cheaper. And it's just been hard to get that first prototype out the door. And so people are, I'm not sure exactly where things are at with that, but I'm kind of trying to keep track. It's a really interesting concept. But you got that, you have fusion. The nuclear space is, I think, pretty interesting. But I don't see how it's not a part of both climate solutions. And if we keep charging forward with data centers and AI, which like we're going to, nuclear's got to be a part of it. So it's kind of my hot take.
I think that's the gap filler between what we got now and what solar will become.
Sure.
When we figure out how to beam it down from space in a big laser that does not heat up the planet somehow. Yeah. Big, huge mirror farms, stuff like that. Tethering it using carbon nanotubes and that kind of stuff.
Those are the buzzwords.
Yeah, let's do it. That's already, I think. Yeah.
No, because otherwise we have it right now. Nobody's waiting, holding on to that cheap form of energy, just waiting. Oh, until we need a little bit more. I'll hold on to that just in case. I think
the one thing that makes me think that the bubble's really not going to burst is that we're not going to let it. Somehow they're going to just keep going. I think they've gone too far. They have to. They spent too much money to be an investment, and now people are hooked on it. If the GPTs went away tomorrow, where does that leave everybody?
I certainly, as a software developer and data person, can't imagine going backwards, like my day-to-day job.
Yeah, and I don't think, they don't disappear, right? Because they're still there.
Right.
The current models would still be the current models. I'd be fine. It is nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been using a lot of the AI tools off hours to help build out some demos and other things that we're going to be presenting at SDG. And it does, I think the last 6 months is when I've actually seen like an actual multiplier in my productivity because of these things, right? Like the first couple of years when we were talking about this stuff, it was neat. It was a cute parlor trick and we made cute images and blah, 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 right? The tooling around it has gotten so good over the last 6 months that I'm like Ben, I'm like, I really, really don't want to go backwards. But if they stop developing new models, okay, right? Like you've got something there. I'm looking
weird.
Yeah. I'm looking for more functionality and more ideas out of the models that we have than an even better coding assistant, like the coding assistants we have right now for our specific use case.
Mm-hmm.
Like they work.
Yeah. I'm looking at Did y'all see this study from MIT in July that said that 95% of AI initiatives at companies have zero return?
Yeah.
And that was very interesting to me. So like how, I think that a takeaway is, it's not the time to be blindly throwing money at AI initiatives. And the type of like this, the report goes into which types of initiatives succeed. This is related to the bubble in the sense of like us mere users of the product. There's a hype there too. And there's not a lot of payoff or delivery or foundation that we're building on. Personal productivity is big, but it doesn't lead to changes in profit and loss. And the sectors where it has the biggest impact are in tech, software developers like ourselves. With these coding assistants is one of the main things, but like throwing it into marketing is one of their examples of where it's not a good, there hasn't been payoff there.
And then when people find out that you've done that, there's actual pushback. Like it's actually negative value because nobody wants any of the creative fields
Right.
to be supplanted by AI. Like
Right.
nobody wants it. Even if it's good. Somebody posted on our Slack, one of our Slack channels, one of the AI artists on Spotify is getting super popular. I don't care. I'm not going to go to an AI concert. Like that's not what that's about for me. And I don't want to see AI generated paintings or images or anything anymore, right? Like,
yeah,
love that.
Let's have AI replace the menial labor, not the creative.
That was the classic,
works.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm 100% there. And I've my biggest in the past I've said this is like I don't want another Prince album generated by AI, right? Like don't, because it's going to be great probably, right? Like I'm sure they can make something that sounds exactly like him, his style, his everything.
Right. Yeah.
And you could, and it would wonderful, right? I don't want that at all.
I personally, I want my fellow artist friends and humanity to have creativity and to be paid for their work. But as far as like objectively, or like, just if you look at the simple fact of do I enjoy AI art? I don't know. Jury's kind of out. Like, I don't really care. It's not good enough yet where I'm really inspired by it. But I've kind of been dazzled a couple times and I'm waiting to see how it continues to go.
Yeah, I use it. I mean, I say that please God don't use like AI creatives, blah blah blah. But then I also, one of the things I do in my free time to calm myself down is I paint a little bit once in a while, right? And I will use AI a little bit to help like just get some ideas bubbling out, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not like I draw pictures and I create pictures and then I throw them away. Like I'm not sharing this with the world. This is really just a thing for me. You hear quotes from like Guillermo del Toro, right? And other folks, and they're like, would you use AI to, and they just get livid. They're like, absolutely.
Yeah, but you look at all those people, they're all creative people that can do all that stuff on their own. They can make stuff that's even better than what AI is kicking out, and it's what they do for a living. And when you're just a regular schmo, now some of these things are in reach. Now I can create an illustrated children's book about frogs, and
you can create a great platformer video game.
Yeah. Awesome video games. Like there's things in reach now that I can actually make happen. Whereas before I'd have to go beg like one of the people that do real coding and real development. It's like, hey, can you make me this? But now I can just ask this, ChatGPT and have it kick out some stuff for me.
The floor on artistic creation has raised. Like, it used to be that you could, a teenager could like cut up a t-shirt and throw some paint on it and then, call that an art, put that up in their art exhibition or something. And, that's kind of like low creative. This is not coming from personal experience, by the way. It totally was. But it's like lowering the floor on what, artistic skill is. And it's still, I think the ceiling is as high as humans can go, and maybe AI art will just go equally high, but in a different direction.
I think you'll have an audience for all the AI stuff, and I think you're already starting to see that. And if people like something enough, they're going to like it, and you're not going to stop them from liking it just because you don't think they should. And if people like stuff, then people are going to make that thing and try to benefit from it. That's how the world works. That's how people work. But you're
is
going to
AI
have
art-
a group of people that are purists and go see live music and listen to the real stuff, not the slop. But you're gonna have a market for the slop. You've already got it. You already
Yeah,
have people flipping through YouTube shorts.
yeah. If the last 6 years have taught us anything, it's that there is a market for slop, and as so unfortunate as it is, um, there's yeah, it is, uh, and I think Ben's kind of saying the same thing. Like for average people to just play around and experiment and maybe get better right without the assistance of AI, great. But using that to supplant like actual artists, actual creatives, and bump them out, and then just become a society where we're just building our ideas around this regurgitated AI blah, right? Like I see AI Star Wars clips all the time, and yes, they're kind of cute and funny. Like the guys, like the stormtroopers, treating like the AI creating these little videos of stormtroopers with selfie cams or whatever, like running through the Death Star. Great, right? Create a new Star Wars. It's not going to create a new Indiana Jones. That's people, and if AI slop penetrates to the degree that some people think it will, we're not going to get that anymore. That's going to suck.
So are we, like, we've all heard about social media, right?
What's that now? Excuse me.
Social media going to the lowest common denominator, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
social
like,
media.
that's
Got
me.
it.
I mean, and really, like,
No, what do you mean by this?
how many clips on YouTube can you watch without seeing Nazis or Russian death traffic accidents?
Oh, I see.
The suggestion engines, the recommendation engines giving sort of, because they want you to be, because engagement is the
Talking about, did we lose Peter? He's talking about
He
inflammatory
froze.
content.
The system shut him down. He was going to say engagement farming or something like that. He'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Peter's
So,
back.
Peter, we stalled.
Engagement.
You're talking about inflammatory content on YouTube.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate you holding my spot. So like where does that, like, okay, so now we've got that process playing out with AI and AI slop, right? It's funny to see Star Wars characters taking selfies, but where does that go? What does that provide?
It ends when they make Star Wars a whole version of all the movies where the stormtroopers are incredible marksmen. Once we see that and how that turns out, I think we're done.
And then the other question I had was, we talked about Del Toro and how they're very anti-AI. I'm guessing they don't know how much AI the people around them are using to produce their visions already.
Mm-hmm.
That could be. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier. I mean, it would be wonderful if more companies would have like acceptable use policies around AI, right? Like there are times where I see emails, whatever, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, you didn't put any thought into this. You just you just prompted ChatGPT and sent me the output, right? Like there are absolute places where, I mean, it's wonderful, right? Like I use AI as a grammar checker a lot, right?
Yep.
I hey, find some errors. You're better at this than Word is. I don't even like, and so I'll put it in there and get the output of there. But it's all my thoughts. It's just, oh, you forgot the Oxford comma, dipshit. But I don't want. I'm not going to like write a high five, right, for somebody using AI, right? That is so impersonal and so, to me it feels rude, but I don't know if my feelings towards that use of AI are universal yet. Like is that just a Chad thing, or is that just a oh, it's nice that somebody thought to go and write a sentence into ChatGPT and then send them the 5 paragraphs of feedback you got from that. Like, please God, don't do that. Personal communication should be personal communications and not AI driven.
Yeah, in the season, like maybe it was fall of 2022 or 3 or something when ChatGPT came out the first time. I went to a wedding and like at least one of the speeches or toasts was clearly it, and it was just cringy. Oh, it was so hard to listen to.
Yeah. And I mean, like some of those speeches are going to be cringy without that, but like,
yeah, but at least it was a human that made it that way.
Like, I think I would love for us to have one. Like, here's where we should, here's where we shouldn't use it. And this has
That's an
nothing
interesting idea
with the bubble at all. It's just experience that I've had that I just yeah.
I have maybe well, Peter, were you going to say something? Otherwise, I have maybe a small topic shift to bring it around back to the bubble.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, okay. Again, we're looking at like the bubble in the hype sense and the bubble in the consumer sense, like the companies who are introducing Gen AI initiatives and whether those work or not. I think there's one sort of nuance here, which is that there's more than just one kind of AI. You know, machine learning is under the umbrella of AI,
Right.
but it's AI that's built by individuals like me who will make a model to analyze data. And I think there's a ton of advancement there, that's growth there. You know, it was like maybe like the last 10 years have been the years of the data scientist. It was a desirable job. A lot of people were designing their education tracks to do that. And I think that, you know, the AI developments have not just been in Gen AI, but even the ones in Gen AI, like I think that those who are trained as data scientists are another type of group that are ready to sort of soak up those developments, apply them, build smarter, better AI and ML models on company data to really get big benefits. I think that there's a lot of opportunity to grow there still. That's a little, you know, it's been on my mind as someone who's sort of in that space. So I think that that's an interesting area too.
See, and when I think of bubbles, I think of the financial bubble that eventually
Right.
something's going to pop and
Yes,
the stocks are
that's
going
what
to
we're
go
talking about.
tumbling down, right? So, but I agree. Like, I mean, who wasn't amazed and impressed when you could watch an assembly line with a camera that's doing parts checking on something at a rate that is not humanly possible, right? Like it's doing 10,000 parts in an hour and they're just flying by and it's checking them and making sure that they're all in the correct spot and that every spot on the die has a resistor or capacitor ready to go. So
the bubble question is, how can companies pay to use an AI application and get real value out of it? Because the nature of the bubble is that there isn't real value right now behind some of these investments. But if you have a company that can do that type of computer vision ML application, that sounds like it's hugely valuable.
Right, for sure.
I think, but we're differentiating between like computer vision and those things. Those are like machine learning models, right? Which is slightly different.
So we're talking about Gen AI bubble.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the investments into data centers by the big companies. Okay, sure, great. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting to see like what we're talking about and what we're not talking about with AI bubble. I think they're just some fringe ideas that are interesting to me. But yes, the bubble, the open AI and data center investments, large language models, Gen AI, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like the machine learning use cases that I've seen, even at my client, are ubiquitous. Like they're all over the place, and it's a lot of the stuff Peter's talking about, right? Like, can you check for foreign objects in materials as they go through assembly line, right? Like that's all like super obvious, super great uses, and it actually that does actually serve safety and profitability and prevents
quality,
all
of those things.
Stuff. that genuinely impact a bottom line. And I'm on board with 100% of that, right? Like that's all amazing technology, and it's amazing problems that they solve and the way they solve. Super cool. The generative stuff and the AI data centers like that, I'm still like, I mean, Ben's point about AGI is probably like that's
why.
Yeah, that's why we're going there. I always just think like, and then what, right? Like,
Right.
and then what?
Well, and then Star Wars or Star Trek, end of, we're all on the beach with robots serving our drinks. Like that's, it's like AGI.
Why would
some
anybody...
stuff happens? We wait a few years for the robots to figure themselves out and to serve us drinks on the beach.
Why would anybody give us the money to sit on a beach though and have the like? Where does our income come from then? Like I could actually totally see.
There's no money then, right?
Yeah, we're past that.
Oh sure,
in a Star Trek fashion.
That's if
well, you replace all your people with AI, and it's this utopia because hey, we don't have to work anymore. It's like, well, what do companies do when they see a windfall like that? Do they give all their people a living income and sustain their lives, or do they just make more money
and oppress the people that that don't work for them or that work for them? And yeah,
I mean, you get where I'm going too, right? Like, okay, we have AGI. Now we're able to replace a section of the workforce, 10, 15% of the workforce. And that 10, 15% is going to do what? Learn a trade. Like what we used to say after the bubble is, hey, learn to code, right? Like, or wasn't that the last big layoff? Learn to code. And
now it's learn to be a plumber, electrician.
Yeah.
Work with your hands.
So a number I saw was that we are building $600 billion worth of data centers, right? Next year.
Yep.
And we're putting computers in those data centers. And as everybody knows, those computers get a day older every single day. And eventually you have to replace them. Is the cycle, like, if I have to replace the data center every 3 years, at worst case, right? And probably every year at best case.
Yeah.
That's the sustainability that I have a challenge with. Like, there is no CPU recycling program.
It's like we're giving Sam Altman whatever he wants, and he's just charging as fast as he can towards a cliff. And he's kind of hoping that he's going to be able to build the bridge out in front of him, like Wile E. Coyote.
Laying those tracks. And
Yeah. And I think that, if he can lay those tracks and get to AGI, I hate to bring it back there, but I think that that's like why he's doing it. But is it sustainable? No, I think that's the point,
I think, and the beauty of the bubbles is you can always see them growing and you can always see them exploding, but you have no idea when any of them, like the dot-com bubble is a great example, right? Who thought it was going to go, in 1999 versus 2000 or 2001 or whatever day the bubble died. And the housing market, right? Everybody was saying on the news, oh, these housing prices can't keep going up. And yet they did the next day. So I just
zero down.
When the bubble may happen, we're going to talk about it until it does, or until it goes away and it's not a bubble anymore, right? Nobody talks about the dot-com bubble still, right? They talk about the effects, but they don't say Amazon's about to go out of business. Look out. So I don't know. It's hard having been through those events to not recognize the pattern, because humans are great pattern recognizers, but we're still not great predictors of anything. See gambling. Brought to you by gambling. Is that the phrase?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find the betting markets for what, OpenAI stock drops below X or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Hang on, I can tell you right now. It's Kalshi.
Kalshi predicted. There's a few.
Yeah. I have $100 on AI being the Times Person of the Year this year.
Oh, nice.
Just AI.
That's all it is. If AI is the Person of the Year, I think I placed it when it was at like a 13% chance. Now it's at 50-50.
Whoa.
Whatever this is. I'm back down to 38. Oh well.
Do we like what makes this bubble burst? Right? It's somebody hitting the brakes.
Right. Yeah.
Or running out of money if like Sam Altman doesn't raise his next round of funding or whatever, right?
I mean, I don't.
Yeah. What's gonna pop it? That's a good question.
Well, it depends on like how is their debt like actually structured, right? Like they have to continue to generate investments in order to pay service a part of that debt,
Right.
and then part of that debt becomes due. Like that would probably be it, right? Like if they don't keep getting more and more money to replenish the spend, to power the, because they're not going to get it from consumers. We don't pay enough for these services to support the businesses.
Right.
So, also, OpenAI was a nonprofit at some point. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
when did they switch?
Is that the open part of OpenAI? Is
that was
a
supposed
nonprofit?
Yeah. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Okay. Hey. Okay. These Kalshi tech markets are fascinating. One is, will OpenAI achieve AGI? And it's before 2028 is betting at 18%. You guys want some free money? I'd get in on that no bet right there.
Wow.
2028, how many years is that? 3 years from now?
3 years.
Jeez.
2 years, really.
2 years, right? Almost like 25 months from today.
That'd be hilarious if we all invested and got just stinking rich off of that.
I think Kalshi is going to go the way of THC drinks in Minnesota.
Oh,
Become
There you go.
illegal, you mean?
Yeah, the novelty, like what was their parlor trick for being able to be like a trade, like a
because they're a commodity. It's a commodity trade. It's not gambling. It's a commodity trade.
you're trading futures. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the
Until
idea
you-
is that hemp is this wonderful thing that can do all this stuff for us. And so we, but because of the marijuana laws and stuff, they wouldn't let people grow hemp. Well, they finally flexed on that and said, okay, we'll let you grow hemp. And they did. And then they found a loophole where they could get Delta 9, or was it Delta 8, and start making all those products. And then they legalized. But now they're going to go back on like
I think the
Delta 8.
The
Yeah,
problem
the-
in Minnesota is the tweak that they put into the federal law was a banking regulation, right? Like you won't be able to get loans and debt. You won't be able to accumulate. You won't be able to use. Basically, you won't be able to use credit cards to buy any of these things, right? So
Can't use business
didn't say-
tools.
yeah, they didn't say necessarily that it's illegal. They just said they added some regulations to the banking side of it that makes it practically impossible. So if all of a sudden THC beverages became a cash-only business, production, distribution, the whole 9 yards, all cash only, then
Do you think the penny would come back then?
probably not.
We
Probably,
stopped making it.
but yeah,
Well, that's a good point. Like the problem is all the banks, everything is insured by the FDIC at the federal level, and it's not legal at the federal level. And that's like Colorado ran into the same thing with all their dispensaries having to do business in cash only.
I think that's going to be the case in Minnesota too. I think we're still going to be able to have dispensaries, but I think they're going to have to be, and they will be, like they have been, cash only. So we'll see.
I'm going to need to borrow a couple $100 from one of you guys if that's cash.
By the way, of course, I looked it up, and OpenAI is private, so I can't check their stock. But I don't know what signal of a bubble bursting that would be. Like, how would we? There's
If
no
they don't
market for. Yeah.
If they don't buy NVIDIA chips 1 quarter, 1 month, That'd be a pretty loud signal to somebody.
That's
Yeah.
that's the bubble is NVIDIA. Everything is riding on NVIDIA.
And
That's
underneath
where all the
that,
money's going.
It's just, yeah, underneath that, it's Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, right?
Right.
Chips.
Yeah, you're right. And so I misspoke. So OpenAI never went private. It was founded as a nonprofit in 2015. It remains a private
They're not
nonprofit,
publicly traded, right? Yeah.
Yeah. but it has never been publicly traded on the stock exchange.
No,
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
So we're not going to see its stock fall, but it has a valuation, right?
It became a for-profit company.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a nonprofit, like they still have a
Research
nonprofit
wing.
piece of it. I
Yeah.
believe. But no, and I wonder if it was survival. Like we're never going to get enough donations to keep this going, so we're going to have to get Microsoft money because they can just, up your license costs 10 cents across the board. Your Copilot becomes a little more expensive, that kind of thing. They can get more money from some of these larger investors instead of being completely open source and nonprofit.
Did y'all look at, I passed around before the podcast the comparison of how much was spent on the U.S. interstate system
Yeah,
over
160
36 years?
Yeah.
And it's, what did I say? How many
160.
hundreds of billions?
160 billion?
Yeah. 300 billion over 36 years on the U.S. interstate highway system. 600 billion in 2025 by U.S. companies into data centers. Like, talk about infrastructure. I mean,
If I hit
This-
one pothole on the way home, I'm going to get pissed.
Well, and that's the question I asked earlier is like it's infrastructure, but it's pretty short term and it's got a quick
concrete's
rollover,
forever.
right? Yeah.
Concrete doesn't go anywhere.
You build a bridge, it's going to be there until it falls, but you at least
Silicon
get 50
wafers.
years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Is it one bubble or is it many bubbles?
I mean,
Depends on
yeah.
who's first.
Like, what justifies that amount of money? The U.S. interstate system provided a ton of value. It made trucking across the U.S. was huge.
Well, also the ability
travel,
to
tourism.
mobilize the military.
Yes, that's why it was built. Is that why it was built originally? Just
That
in
was the
case we
original.
needed to drive jeeps
Yep.
across from the east to the west coast or whatever.
And you have
Yeah.
to have enough straight sections to land planes.
So if this becomes a military thing, then we'll
Which it
see all
is,
sorts
you
of
know.
money get sunk into it.
Like, what a gamble this is that
Yeah.
the payoff is AGI. Because right now the payoff isn't great enough to warrant this investment. Our chatbots are great. Are they that great?
Yeah.
No, they still hallucinate.
Yeah. And they can't do math,
Are the
Right.
local models, the local stuff you can run on your own machine, like, is that going to save us?
Yeah, I wonder if you have preppers who are bringing into their bomb shelters their own homespun large language models. Honestly, that's a good way to save a lot of information. You just zip up Wikipedia into some compressed archive file and zip up Llama, your homespun version or whatever, and that's an interesting.
Well, I do. I mean, I have tried using like Olama, like running the models locally is possible. Just slow as hell. So doing that alongside development for me isn't. Well, I'm doing everything on a MacBook, right? So I could probably do that a little smarter, but
Does not increase your performance as much as running it on the cloud.
yeah, as a lazy person, it is so much better for me to just spend $20 a month on whatever one is cool. Like I keep switching too. Like I keep switching between
I think that's good.
and other models. And
What happens when it goes to 100?
then I ask Matt if I can start expensing it. I don't know. 20 bucks, like that's the thing for me, like 25 bucks, like that amount a month is like, oh, that's one happy hour.
No, hold on, guys. Hold on. OpenAI is scraping this podcast,
Yeah.
right? So $20 is exorbitant.
Oh.
I'm canceling tomorrow unless it
Yeah.
drops to 5.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Any parting thoughts?
Is it a bubble? I don't know. Smells like one. But
It's a bubble.
It is it's gonna crash. There's gonna be like somebody's gonna become the Amazon, right? Somebody's gonna survive through this, and then companies like Claude or, Anthropic or whoever, like they're gonna get bought up and become part of Google.
that's weird.
And then there's gonna be like an Amazon, which whoever that ends up being, and I'm guessing that we don't even know that's the survivor hasn't even emerged yet, right? Like that's
I think,
my yeah.
I think international competition is also going to be interesting too. I mean, China is the one who's in the running, but like, if they had come up with a better bot, like, or if they do AGI, But yeah, somebody's going to lose a bunch of money. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money.
Well, they had the one model. They had the one thing that we were talking about last year. Everybody got excited about it for like a minute, and then
DeepSeek.
Yeah, DeepSeek. There you go. We lost our minds for a week or two, and then we talked about it again. Or I haven't looked into it.
I think the kids are into DeepSeek.
Are they?
Yeah, the youngins.
Your age is starting to show in AI now, Chad.
I know. I try to stay on top of it too. It's just.
Well, you said you
and then I
replaced
tell the kids.
GPT with DeepSeek, Chad.
Last year I did. I mean, because we were able to pull all that stuff down, and like I said, like through Olam, we were able to do all that. I am not like one of my weak spots is like model evaluation. Like I can tell you, as a coding assistant, if you write Python, these things are amazing. If you're an experienced Java developer, they're nice crutches, but they're not as like Python is their like sweet spot.
They've got a robust library of Python
For
ingested.
Yeah, like anytime I'm yeah. So I'm not a traditional, like I didn't grow up writing Python. So I've been having it help me write some demos. It does an amazing job, and it almost always works the first or second try. Whenever I tried to have it replace Python with Java, it takes so much like, nope, not, no, Jesus Christ, I'll just do it, right?
For sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that is a sporadic parting thought, but whatever that was, that's mine.
It looks like a bubble. It walks like a bubble, but it has not quacked like a bubble yet.
Yeah.
With everything running on those NVIDIA chips and everybody investing in that stuff, they burn out. They're cooking them. It's not like they just are sitting there waiting for something to happen. They're like, it's all running just so I can have a stupid video game and make a video.
The one stat
so
Meta was they're burning through them in 54 days, I think is what I posted.
Yeah.
No, that was one crash, right? They had like an unexpected set of failures of 16,000 while training a model for 54 days. I'll tell you, someone who's done a lot of long jobs, that sucks. You run something for multiple days and then it crashes on the 8th day or whatever. This is the 54th day. That's frustrating.
Yeah. I don't have the attention span to watch 10 minutes when I'm running.
Yeah, save your work early and often.
Jesus Christ, 10. I'm done for the day after 10 minutes. Crashes, like I'm not doing this again.
No.
Yeah.
That's like my plumbing project. Nope, this fitting is wrong. I don't have the right parts. I go get the right parts. All right, I'll pick this up tomorrow when I'm less frustrated.
Yeah.
I can live without water for a day.
Luckily, it's not that. All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks for hanging out. It'll be interesting to see this bubble either grow or burst or whatever happens.
Yeah. Place your bets.
AGI.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, place your futures orders.
Yeah. Ben, you'll have to send us that stock that we need to invest in so that we can get super rich
On the
super
AGI.
fast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody. And I think with that, we can shut her down and say goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Solution Design Group is a digital product consultancy in Minneapolis. Check us out on the web at solutiondesign.com or look for us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Solution Design Group.